A lot of you have been sending email messages. Yeah, it's loud. A lot of you have been sending email messages to Harben, asking him to help and go after one city or another. So Harben, or Christopher Harben, is here today. He's going to speak on an issue that I think some of you, or at least we're hoping, will get involved with. Chris?
I actually heard someone boo back there. Must have been someone I banned, or will soon. I thought I asked Mark for a bigger podium because I don't know if everyone remembers last year about this time, a bunch of us started posting on a thread about losing weight. Doug, I think you were participating in that too. Everything I lost, I found again, so it does now. Listen, one of the things I was asked to mention, and it's been one of our victories here lately, and it's not a specific OFCC victory, it's more of a victory for the movement. Someone mentioned Sean Maloney earlier in the day, and I know he was instrumental in getting this happen, but if you haven't heard this news, it's another indication that things are moving our way. Everyone enjoys, or I know a lot of people, me, I haven't, but I don't really need to, enjoy UDF ice cream. And for the longest time, it was a place we couldn't go because they didn't want us. A little sign at the front of the door told us so. Well, I think what happened, and you might see, if you haven't read the story, go to the front page of our website. It's been well written, well documented as to how this happened. Someone high up in UDF got their concealed carry license. How about that? And then they started looking at it from a whole different set of eyes. They said, wait a minute, I'm not a bad guy. I can't even go to my own store, so now all the signs for no guns in UDF are coming down. If they haven't come down, let them know. As I understand it, as regional managers get to each of the stores, they're going to be taking these signs down. But if you've been on the forums, you've seen a lot of reports. In fact, Brian D., where are you? Brian has started a thread where we've been tracking how much has actually been spent by our members in UDF since the signs have been come down. I think it's a powerful argument for those other stores that might not see it the same way. So a round of applause for that happening. Thank you. Now, to continue on a theme that Derek was talking about, and not only am I a brother of Derek through being a veteran, but Derek and I go to, well, he graduated from the same school I'm going to now. I think we're the only two people in Ohio that go to this school, right, Derek? That's right. That's right. And to find a good school, we had to leave Ohio, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We don't have a tattoo issue in region, do we? I'm just kidding. I was on a roll until I said that. Listen. To continue on the theme with regard to Derek's talk about involving people, it's weird how events happen, it's weird how events gel people. Think about September 12th, how the nation changed, how we changed, how we looked at each other differently on September 12th. Let's admit it, about 6-7 months ago, this organization was going through a little bit of turmoil about how are we going to involve everybody. We started finding different factions within the organization, and we were really struggling to figure out how to unify everyone behind this cause. And if you've been on the forums, you know what I'm talking about. Is Chuck here? If Chuck, you here? Yeah. All right, stand up. Probably about 4 minutes, everyone. This is Chuck from the forums, and he was instrumental in this thing. Go ahead and sit down. All right, good. One of the things that what we ended up doing, and it was really a grassroots effort within the grassroots organization, is we put together an open carry letter that got delivered to almost every law enforcement agency in the state of Ohio. And I say almost because I've got about a handful of letters that came back. But that was really managed by Chuck, managed by a group of people right on the forums. Really wasn't led by anyone in the leadership, it was led by the forums. And it's been successful, but I want to share with you, we still have some work to be done. About a week and a half ago, someone called into our information line and left a message, so I contacted this girl, this young lady from Clark County, Ohio. She had just gotten her concealed carry license, went through the class, and her instructor said, you know, if you have a concealed carry license, you can't open carry. You'll get arrested for inducing panic. Huh? I mean, how many... and we all sit here and we say that when it shows up in the forums, we're like, who are these people? Where do they get their instructor's licenses from? But we know that that issue still is out there. I've been playing phone tag with this instructor, so I'll straighten him out. But then she went to get her license at the Clark County Sheriff's Department, and they told her, you know what? don't let us see you open carrying. We'll arrest you for inducing panic. So I did talk to the lieutenant in charge of that particular program in Clark County via voicemail, and I could play for it now, but you know, you don't want to be here all day. But basically what he starts off his message was, look, I want to let you know it's not our policy to arrest people. That we know open carry is legal for people who are licensed. So we still have some work to be done, but in light of that, our name is getting out there. The movement is gaining momentum. We've had calls from Gallia County. We've had calls from other places. If you followed the Cleveland Heights thread, you know that when I talked to the law director of Cleveland Heights, he said, "Yeah, I know who you are." That's good. That's a good thing. We just need to build on this momentum. We need to keep going forward. So as we think about SB 17 becoming law in September, I got an idea that I'm going to leverage some of the things that Chuck has done, and we're going to use this momentum and keep the pressure on. This is not a time for us to sit back and say, "Hey, we've had some success. Time to drink some beer and celebrate." As long as we're not carrying. But it's time to keep moving forward. This is when you start pushing a big car, right? If you ever run out of gas, you got to push the car. You start get it moving, that's when you keep pushing. And that's what we're going to do right now. So this week, we'll be rolling out a new letter. One of the concerns I had was, when we roll out SB 17, when that becomes law, how quickly do you think law enforcement will understand the nuances of the law? And this is not a slam on law enforcement. Let me be clear. This is not a slam on law enforcement. It's more of a fact. It's more of a relationship that law enforcement's inundated with a lot of stuff. What I'm concerned about is that, Al gets pulled over and he's got his handgun now in a holster mounted under his dash. And it's now October 1st, which will be completely legal in October 1st. I can foresee, depending on the jurisdiction, and someone said it always depends on if you get Andy or Barney. So I foresee him getting Barney one day, and then we're going to read about it on the forums. So we're going to do an educational preemptive strike. We have developed a letter that's going to cover the nuances of SB 17 with particularly emphasis on car carry, because that's where I think the biggest confusion and the biggest opportunity for interactive problems, hopefully not as bad as Canton, but that's where I think there might be problems. So we're going to do a preemptive strike. So look for an announcement on the forums. I think we'll get a front page news item up there, a brief news item. For those of you that don't peruse the forum, at least check back once in a while on our front page so you can see where the letter is. Print it off and get it to as many law enforcement personnel as you can. This is us trying to be good citizens. This is us recognizing our role in obeying the law. This is us recognizing that we have a role in making sure the law is followed, both by us and by law enforcement. We want to partner, and this is an opportunity we have. So, so with that, I'm gonna close. I do want to mention I did see someone walk around with his concealed carry around his neck. He must have come through Canton on the way in. But I'll be around if anyone has any questions. What I want to do is hand it off.